Kimi shocks his rivals with a stunning sprint pole. Verstappen is in trouble for a quali incident, and Hamilton has been given advice on a critical weakness. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Kimi Antonelli is making waves as he claims pole position for the sprint race at the 2025 Miami Grand Prix. This young driver from Mercedes showed us just how fierce and exciting the competition can be. In a stunning display of skill, Antonelli clocked a remarkable time of 1:26.482, making this achievement even more impressive as he's a complete rookie at this circuit. His performance managed to edge out championship leader Oscar Piastri by a mere 0.045 seconds, with Piastri driving for McLaren. Following them were Lando Norris in the second McLaren, Max Verstappen from Red Bull, and Mercedes' George Russell. However, the drama of this session wasn't just in Antonelli's triumph. It was also about strategic missteps from some top teams. Both Mercedes and Red Bull compromised their final efforts, sending their top drivers out for quick laps almost 5 minutes before the other competitors. This early strategy proved to be costly. Max Verstappen aimed for a swift cooldown cycle after his initial lap, which resulted in a time of 1:27.070. While this wouldn't place him high initially, he managed to improve on his second attempt, grappling with tires that were past their prime. Meanwhile, George Russell posted a quicker first lap, but then chose to retreat to the pits after just one attempt. This decision saw him plummeting down the ranks to 5th place by the time the checkered flag waved. The fight didn't end there. Ferrari's Charles Leclerc clocked in 6th, finishing just a quarter of a second ahead of teammate Lewis Hamilton in 7th. Williams showed they could contend as Alex Albon secured 8th, followed closely by Racing Bull's Isaac Hadjar in 9th, with veteran Fernando Alonso from Aston Martin rounding out the top 10. Overall, this qualifying session not only highlighted Kimi Antonelli's extraordinary skill, but also reminded us of the importance of strategy in racing. As we prepare for the sprint race, all eyes will be on Antonelli to see if he can hold off his rivals and convert pole position into a victory. With a blend of talent, strategy, and nerve, the upcoming races are set to keep us on the edge of our seats. Keep watching as we follow the action from the Miami Grand Prix. In a surprising turn of events during sprint qualifying, Carlos Sainz from Williams made a critical mistake that led to his elimination. As he approached turn 11 on his last flying lap, he slid off the track, ending his chances for the session. Sainz quickly apologized to his team as he made his way back to the pits. Joining Sainz on the sidelines were several notable drivers: Nico Hülkenberg from Sauber in 11th place, Esteban Ocon from Haas, Pierre Gasly of Alpine, and Liam Lawson from Racing Bulls. Meanwhile, Jack Doohan was visibly frustrated after his early exit. Compromised by a late garage release that coincided with teammate Gasly, Doohan struggled to regain control as he left the pits. This unfortunate timing caused rival vehicles to get ahead, greatly diminishing his chances in the session. Additional eliminations included Lance Stroll from Aston Martin and Yuki Tsunoda from Red Bull. Tsunoda faced a challenging situation, locking up on his first flying lap and feeling hindered by another car exiting the pits during his second run, putting him at a disadvantage. As we move on, the spotlight shifts to Lando Norris, who's focused on his performance amid the impressive displays by Oscar Piastri. Norris has no plans to dwell on comparisons, instead concentrating on his own drive. Stay tuned as the Miami Grand Prix continues to unfold with thrilling races ahead, raising anticipation for what's next. Max Verstappen finds himself in the spotlight as he has been summoned before the FIA stewards at the 2025 Miami Grand Prix following the sprint qualifying session. After qualifying in 4th place, Verstappen's immediate future now hinges on the outcome of the stewards' decision, which adds an extra layer of tension just ahead of Saturday's main race. The controversy stems from allegations of non-compliance with the FIA's regulations. The specific charge references a potential breach of Article 33.4 of the FIA Formula One sporting regulations, as well as Article 12.2.1I of the International Sporting Code. In simpler terms, Verstappen is accused of not following the race director's specific instructions laid out in the event notes. These instructions include critical guidance regarding the maximum time drivers must adhere to during the sprint qualifying, qualifying and pre-race reconnaissance laps. The aim is to ensure that drivers maintain a competitive pace and do not drive at excessively slow speeds, which is vital for maintaining the integrity of the race. In this case, the FIA had set a maximum time of 1 to 45.0 that drivers must not exceed between the first and second safety car lines on any lap within the affected sessions. Verstappen isn't alone in facing scrutiny. 5 other drivers were also cited for similar infractions during the sprint qualifying phase. Notable names include Alex Albon, Carlos Sainz, George Russell, Liam Lawson, and Gabriel Bortoleto. However, those drivers have escaped with no penalties as they managed to maintain the necessary speeds throughout most of the circuit. The FAA determined that they stayed at or above speeds necessary to stay below 145.0 for most of their laps. As fans eagerly await further news regarding Verstappen's situation, the scrutiny of the FIA adds an intriguing layer to the unfolding drama at the Miami Grand Prix. Now, all eyes are glued to the stewards as they deliberate on Verstappen's potential penalty and its implications on his race strategy for the weekend. This situation emphasizes the rigor of regulations in Formula One and how even a slight misstep can have significant consequences on a driver's performance and standing. Stay tuned as we continue to bring you updates on this developing story and what it might mean for Verstappen and the Red Bull team in one of the circuit's most critical moments. In a recent decision, the stewards concluded that the drivers acted responsibly by slowing down enough to avoid hindering others on the track. Their actions were deemed appropriate, allowing competitors to pass without interference. As a result, the stewards found no evidence of drivers operating unnecessarily slowly and have taken no further action against them. Now, shifting gears to some exciting personal news for Max Verstappen. He has officially become a father. He welcomed his daughter Lily into the world, marking a joyous milestone in his life. Speculation has arisen around the notion of Verstappen teaming up with competitors at Mercedes. Given the past tensions with the team, this seems highly unlikely. Fans have been quick to express their thoughts on this potential matchup, which many agree is not going to happen. In the wake of a recent incident involving Verstappen and Oliver Bearman, the FIA is implementing a new regulation. This decision reflects the governing body's commitment to maintaining safety and fairness on the track as the sport continues to evolve. As Verstappen navigates his new role as a father, fellow competitor Lewis Hamilton shared his thoughts, alluding to the challenges and joys that parenthood brings. The F1 grid also joined in, offering advice to the new dad ahead of this life-changing chapter. Stay with us as we delve into more F1 updates, including insights on race schedules, stats, and key predictions for upcoming Grand Prix events. Don't forget to follow us on our social channels for the latest breaking news and developments as they unfold. Toto Wolff has given us some intriguing insights into George Russell's future with Mercedes as the driver approaches the end of his current contract. In a recent press conference in Miami, Wolff praised Russell, hinting that good things could be in store for him. Right now, Russell stands out as one of the only top drivers without a contract in place for the next season. While the likes of Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, and Lewis Hamilton have secured long-term deals, Russell finds himself in a precarious position as his 2-year contract nears its conclusion. Each race brings him closer to the end of this deal, particularly as he steps into a leadership role following Hamilton's move to Ferrari. There were reports suggesting Russell had already signed a new contract with Mercedes, but those were mistaken. It seems his contract status is still pending, making Wolff's remarks particularly significant. As he reflected on Russell's role in Miami, he painted a picture of a driver who is not only competitive, but is also a leading contender in this year's championship. Currently, Russell sits in a strong 4th place, making strides that have caught Wolff's attention. When asked about Russell's future at Mercedes, Wolff's response was telling. George is part of the Mercedes family and has always been. He expressed optimism about their trajectory together. Given Russell's current performance and his role in guiding the team, Wolff emphasized there are no doubts about Russell's capabilities behind the wheel. In fact, with the departure of Hamilton, Russell has taken up the mantle of leadership in the team. Wolff acknowledged the transition and highlighted Russell's importance in defining the team's direction. "You know where the pace of the car is," he noted, underlining Russell's critical role in the team's future. As we look ahead, Wolff's comments suggest that Russell's position within Mercedes looks promising. He's proven himself as a strong driver who can be reliable, making him a key figure in the team's aspirations to compete at the highest levels in the sport. To sum it up, as we head into the latter part of the season, eyes will certainly be on George Russell and his relationship with Mercedes, as well as the decisions that will shape the team's future. With Toto Wolff's trust and support behind him, fans can expect exciting developments to unfold in the near future. As we dive into the dynamics of the team, it's clear that George Russell has embraced his role as the senior driver. With Kimi Antonelli joining as the younger teammate, their relationship resembles that of brothers working in harmony. George's reliability on the track boosts team morale, and Kimi's relaxed approach brings a sense of stability to their partnership. Russell and Antonelli have impressed this season, driving the W16, a car that shows great potential right from the start. According to Wolff, this year's model is more straightforward to set up. There's a newfound predictability. Adjustments made truly reflect on the car's performance, something that was often a gamble in the past. However, managing tire temperatures remains a challenge, a crucial area where the team is still searching for effective solutions. In other news, George Russell is calling for decisive action from FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem regarding discussions on overturning the swearing ban, expressing a desire for clarity and consistency in regulations. Tensions are high in the paddock, with Christian Horner and Toto Wolff famously disagreeing over recent FIA concerns that may impact F1 heading into 2026. These debates reflect the ongoing evolution of the sport and the differing perspectives among team principals. On a personal note, Russell has expanded his garage with a stunning new Mercedes AMG 1, showing that his success on track translates into a rewarding lifestyle off it. As rumors swirl about a potential move for Max Verstappen to Mercedes, Wolff is addressing these speculations head-on, ensuring fans remain engaged with every twist of the narrative. Stay tuned as we continue to explore the ever-evolving world of F1, with breaking news and fascinating insights heading your way. In an unexpected twist at the Miami Grand Prix, tensions between racing rivals burst into lighthearted banter. McLaren Racing CEO Zak Brown made headlines with a cheeky stunt during the Friday practice session. He took a playful jab at Red Bull, brandishing a water bottle labeled "tire water." This not-so-subtle reference harked back to last year's allegations, where Red Bull suggested that McLaren was cooling their tires in a clever but controversial way. The tension began during the 2024 Brazilian Grand Prix weekend, when reports surfaced claiming that Red Bull had accused their rivals at McLaren of tampering with tire cooling by adding water. This drama unfolded amidst fierce competition over the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships. Following a thorough investigation by the FIA, no evidence of such practices was found, leading to a season filled with competitive spirit. Max Verstappen clinched another Drivers' Championship for Red Bull, marking his fourth title in a row. However, McLaren turned the tables by taking the Constructors' Trophy, marking their first title since 1998. As the Miami Grand Prix kicked off, the rivalry continued to simmer. During a practice session, Brown was seen sipping from his tire water bottle, instantly recognizable and tinged with a hint of mockery. It's worth noting that Brown has a history of playful encounters with Red Bull, and this moment was no different. Following practice, Sky F1 reported on Brown's cheeky display, catching the attention of Horner. In a lighthearted rejoinder, Christian Horner, the principal of Red Bull, took the opportunity to remind Brown of the energy his team represents. With a twinkle of humor in his eye, Horner remarked about sending Brown a Red Bull if he needed a boost of energy. The quip received laughter from all parties involved, showcasing the camaraderie that can exist within such intense competition. As the narrative unfolds, McLaren and Red Bull continue to chase titles and accolades in the ever-dynamic F1 landscape. The race to dominate the 2025 season is just heating up, and both teams are prepared for battle, on and off the track. There's no telling how the rivalry will evolve, but one thing is certain: these exchanges keep fans engaged and entertained as they cheer for their favorite teams. Stay tuned for more updates on the fierce competition between McLaren and Red Bull, where every race comes down to the finest of details. Miami continues to shine in the Formula One spotlight, especially after the recent announcement that the Miami Grand Prix will remain a part of the calendar for years to come. The excitement surrounding this race is palpable, with fans eagerly looking forward to what's next. As attention shifts toward the 2025 Miami Grand Prix, bold predictions are already making waves. Currently, we're witnessing a thrilling competition between McLaren's Oscar Piastri and teammate Lando Norris. Piastri leads the driver's standings by 10 points over Norris, while Max Verstappen finds himself just 12 points behind in third place. This season has showcased McLaren's strength, boasting a substantial cushion in the Constructors' Championship, a whopping 77 points ahead of Mercedes. In the midst of this drama, team principals are also in the spotlight. Christian Horner and Toto Wolff have famously differed on various issues, reflecting the competitive tension shaping the F1 landscape. Meanwhile, Zak Brown isn't letting anyone forget Alpine's past choice to let Oscar Piastri go. His cheeky remarks indicate that the rivalry will continuously fuel the narrative in the years to come. As the season progresses, fans are left wondering about a potential future showdown between Norris and Piastri. Will they clash on the track? And what does it mean for drivers like Carlos Sainz, who could find themselves back at McLaren under the right circumstances? Stay tuned to see how these dynamics unfold in the upcoming races.